They made me come back. They made me come back. It's fucked up. They made me come back. I really didn't want to do another video on Jacob Cherry. Jacob Cherry. Cherry, like cherry red. Cherry burst. For those of you who buy musical instruments. Anyways. Yeah, I didn't want to come back here. But someone in the comments, I knew posting that someone was going to say I was hating, or Bulletz Gotti was hating, or this, that, the third, whatever the fuck. Oh, I had to leave this comment up there because everything he said, bro, this is the problem when the banging goes on YouTube, all right? Because you got a whole bunch of people that really don't understand how this shit works. That didn't grow up in it, that didn't come up in it, that didn't understand, it never did none of this shit. So to me, it's common sense. Like, the reason seeing his name in that many different court cases looks bad, and I'm gonna be clear, whenever there's someone who's got their paperwork in a lot, or their name comes up in a lot of different people's paperwork, right? Especially if they're not related to these people, right? Or these people don't know of them, right? For example, you'll see it a lot with undercover cops. You'll see, because you don't know the undercover cop real name till you go to court. And it'll say UC. Usually nowadays, I think it's just a number. It's been a while since I was arrested by UC, and that was for my wild charges. Back then, it was just a number. It would say UC, no, it was like 472, UC 51, like it was just three digit numbers. Observed sale at, you know what I'm saying, this, the intersection, the crosswalk at the sidewalk near like, they'll never put their names in it. If it goes to trial, that's a little bit different. So like that Danny Polo guy, right? Danny Polo, I don't think it is his real name. But the name he's going to tell people is going to be different from Danny Polo, and also not going to be his real name. So the only way you're going to find the name Danny Polo is when that name keeps coming up in different people's paperwork who went to trial. You see my point? So for Jacob Cherry to basically, like, transcripts, court transcripts is paperwork. It don't matter if it's a statement or this or that. The fact that it's just transcripts alone would be enough for people to be like, whoa, hold on. You got phasing back, man. We gotta talk about this. Like, this, no. Like, the fact he's still doing this treasurer job is a little bit, like, it's a little like, see, if I was in charge, and I don't think I'll ever be in charge. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a gang member. I'm not a gang member, y'all. I'm not doing anything illegal. But I'm just saying firsthand experience, right? Ain't nobody, I have to put that in there because this Rico shit is so fucked up. I have to cover my ass. The fact that his name comes up in all these different people's paperwork who have no real relation to him, that on its own is sketchy, right? Then, so I get this comment, bro, where this motherfucker, every point he's making, I can make a strongly defeated point to it, right? So he's like, why is nobody putting the money? He's acting like Jake's out here fucking building rec centers and shit. Listen, if he was going to build some rec centers, bro, he would be having my subscriber count. They don't want you doing that. They don't want nobody. That's why they screwed me out to 30K. Because they know if they gave me that 30K for sitting on my ass, I would have fucking tripled that into 100K. And then it would have been just, you can't stop me. And what I'm going to do is going to benefit so much more people, especially the kids, than it's going to benefit me. Like, they didn't want that happening too quick. There's a reason. Think about it. Why do you think every time some shit gets, like, whenever they're like, oh, we need something for the kids to do, they just want to build a skate park, right? Because all the kids who don't really have the patience for skating and shit and trying to just land trick after trick is going to just go to the skate park and get high on drugs. Okay? That's why if you see what every town does, let's build a skate park. And then you get people complaining, well, there's people selling drugs and using drugs at the skate park. Well, yeah, what do you think happens to all the kids who their parents bought them a skateboard and they're not really skating. They realize it's not really their thing, but they keep going skateboard. What do you think they're doing? Just a whole nother video for a whole nother fucking topic. But that's my whole thing is I want to be out here building rec centers, building shit for the kids, especially because the kids don't got shit out here. And I know that when it comes to heroin, when it comes to all the other problems, gang violence, all the shit that I've dealt with growing up, it's because we had nothing to fucking do. I was out here getting into fucking fights, getting into gang fights, getting into shootouts and shit, because I had nothing else. I had no other options. And especially when money came into play, it was even more. I ain't have many other options. I don't fit in the corporate world, homie. So unless I'm the boss, I don't fit in the corporate world. I do not take disrespect from people who, like, the way bosses like to talk down, I don't take that shit well. Me getting a job, like, put it like this, I've been lucky with the job I've had for like the past year and some change. But usually it ends with me having to either quit or catching a charge just because, you know what I'm saying? This is actually the second job it hasn't been like that. So I'm gonna keep it a stack. Getting back on topic. So the fact that Jacob Cherry is still the treasurer of G-Shine boggles my mind. He's still holding this position apparently, or so they say. If I was in charge, we would have moved him out of that position. We would have still probably kept him in some type of rank. You know what I'm saying? He would have been like a sergeant at arms or some other shit, lieutenant, something. He would still have some rank. He would have been a Scary or some shit like that. But we're not going, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to be keeping him in that position if we know they know he's in that position, because this is doing yourself a disservice, really. Because it's like, okay, if they have this intel, why would you leave that intel the same for them? If you switch some shit up real quick, this is why I always tell people, yo, pull up, talk to me in person. Don't be getting on that text about shit. Right? Don't be doing that. Because we just say, if they records is that so-and-so is the treasurer, right? And I'm going to get to this in a sec, because this was one of his points in this comment. The only reason I'm doing this is because of this motherfucker who tried, I don't know if he just was accusing bulletz Gotti of hating, who, keep in mind, is like one of the only motherfuckers I really fuck with on here because he's not a hating ass motherfucker. And at the same time, I don't know what his deal was, but every point he made, I could immediately defeat. He's acting like Jake's out here building rec centers and shit. Jake ain't building no rec centers. Bro, treasurer means, okay, so the next thing he complains about is that, oh, he's not like the rest of these guys who are just putting guns and drugs on the street. Bro, what do you think the treasurer job is for? Allotting money for how much you're going to be allowing different sets to spend on drugs and guns out of the gang's purse. You see how wrong this motherfucker is? You could check the last video. I didn't want to do this. I don't really have no personal issue with Jacob Cherry. I just think he should really answer to what's already been brought on him before he keeps wanting to make other people answer for shit when we still haven't got the answers from you. And you still got your name coming up in people's court transcripts. I don't care if that's all it is. That's weird as fuck. That's weird as fuck. Why are you, like, think about the only other people whose name is coming up in repeated different court transcripts. Okay, Danny Polo has been in multiple court transcripts, for example. So you see why this looks weird. Because normally when people's name is in multiple different people's court transcripts, there's someone who works with the government. That's why it looks weird. I have to really break this down for people because they obviously ain't lived the life I lived. They ain't been around the shit I've been around. They ain't into the shit I'm into. You know, but I did a lot, but I ain't never hated. For real. I've done a lot, but I never hated. You feel what I'm saying? I'm on a different type of time, homie. So the fact that if he was even trying to insinuate that I was hating on some shit Jacob Cherry be doing, nah. That name, by the way, is just, that's why I have to keep calling him that. It's just so coincidental. Like, you high ranking on the red side, and your last name is Cherry. It just seemed like a little bit like too perfect. You feel what I'm saying? Just a little too perfect. But like, I ain't even trying to go sick on 1090jakes right now. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just pointing out to the people who are uneducated in the comments why what they said is wrong and why what Jacob Cherry be doing is a little weird to me. So I think I've got enough out the way now to where the main points I was trying to make in the last video are understood, or should be. So he wants to say this shit about the rec centers that Jake is not building right now. Wants to complain about the guns and drugs gangs are putting on the street. He's who allots the money for those drugs and guns to head on the highway to up to the various sets they're going to. He don't do that for every drug and every gun. But let me explain. When you're the treasurer, you have control over how much the gang can spend off their dues and whatnot on, you feel what I'm saying? If people go out and buy personal shit, that's different. But out of the dues that have to be acquired for certain shit over a certain period of time, and I'm trying to be as discreet as possible while still explaining to people who don't know no better how this shit works and why they're wrong, that's what he does. He allots what dues have been paid and where that funding can go. And it's not going to no rec centers, homie. It's not going to no rec centers, bro. I don't know why he seemed to think Jake was like Santa Claus or some shit. Like, keep in mind, Santa Claus gangster, bro. Santa Claus is like the Michael Jackson of some burglary, bro. He burglarized everybody's house in one night in the whole world. Literally hits everybody's house. It don't matter if he not taking shit. He giving it back. But it's still burglary. Burglary, by definition, is not robbing nothing. It's literally just breaking into some shit that's not yours. You can even get burglary for breaking into some shit that's your own fucking house. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you could beat the case probably, but like, I've known people who got jammed up because they locked themselves out or something. The police saw them trying to break in their own shit, and they wasn't trying to hear none of that. This is my house, this is my apartment, da 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 da. You feel what I'm saying? So, listen, I don't know if there's any other points that I had to cover here, but I think I covered about all of them. Him being a treasurer does not mean that he's out here building rec centers and shit. Okay? He's actually who's appropriating the funds to cover shit like guns for the gang, drugs for the gang. Okay? Shit that's paid for with money that's from dues, he's who signs off on where that money can go. And it's going to things like drugs or guns. If not specific, paying people to do specific things. And I'm not saying that that's exactly what Jake's doing, but I'm speaking on what the treasurer of a gang does. Okay, when I say that. You could take that how you want to. Okay, this was not another video specifically coming at Jake. This was because I forget that people on the YouTube haven't been around this shit in a lot of cases, and they don't understand why things to me or other people would look like, bro, you know what I'm saying, who've been around this shit, and why it don't look the same to us that it might look to you. You see what I'm saying? To y'all who just neutrons, y'all not affiliated with nothing, y'all not taking no risk with nothing, it just looked like this shit is like, oh, he's just, 1090jakes. But there's some very weird shit that keeps happening with him. That literally, bro, listen, it's not good. It doesn't look good for the face card. It doesn't look good for the organization. It looks bad. So I had to make this video to make clear, like, and everything this dude said, I might put a screenshot of what he said up in this shit, bro, because it was fucking wild. Like, he was trying to act like Jake was Jesus Christ or something. I'm out this bitch, man.